What's up, everybody? This is Urgent99, and today I'm going to give a little bit of an expansion on managing a corporation. CCP did create a Creating and Closing a Corp Flight Academy video, but they kind of glossed over some stuff that's kind of important for a new CEO to know. So I figured we'd cover that in this video. Of course, this is on Singularity, so I'm going to go ahead and create a corporation. Your ticker can have up to 5 letters, so ... and other items are not uncommon for people who like to rehash the same name over and over again. Well, shameless plug there. Now at the very bottom here you'll see a new feature they added in Tiamat. Allow friendly fire. When friendly fire is legal, a member of your corporation may freely attack fellow members without criminal penalties. Basically, you won't get suspects or criminal flagged, and you won't catch a Concord Oaken. When it is illegal, a corporation member will incur a criminal/suspect flag for attacking fellow members in Empire space. And if you're in high security, you'll probably catch a Concord Oaken. A corporation CEO/director may change this setting subject to a 24-hour delay. So if you run a corporation like RVB, which is constant PvP all the time, you probably want to allow friendly fire. For your small little corporation out running missions or mining, probably want to leave that blank, which is what I intend to do. As you can see, it says select a wallet division. Typically in most corporations, go ahead and choose the master wallet. There are a few things you can do as the CEO. Of course, there's bulletins that any corp member can see if they go to the home screen. This is the details of the corp. As you can see, I'm the CEO, founder. The headquarters of the system is always the station at which you create the corp. As you can see, I created it at this factory. Notice the shares. That's important, and we're going to get to that in a second. Membership applications. If you want people to see your corporation and apply for it, that needs to be enabled. Then there are offices and stations. Most corporations don't own stations. You can only own stations in lawless space, nullsec. And yeah, odds are you won't. Those are typically the purview of large alliances. You can create advertisements for your corp, review your applications and your applications to the corporation. You can also invite directly people to the corporation. You can review your members, set your standings, people you'd like or don't like as a corporation, your wars, if you are involved in any Concord sanctioned war decks. You can view all wars. And you can see your kills and losses if you really care. Now we get into politics. Politics is where those shares come in again. first thing you want to do is in your corporation wallet, click on shares. As you can see, the testing corp holds 1,000 shares of its stock. Sissy's wigging out on me. Basically, you would give the shares to yourself, because people who own shares can, using a vote, as you can see, create shares, expel member, lock blueprint, unlock blueprint. Expel member can include the CEO. So it is, like I said, it is extremely important that you take control of the shares of your corporation. The second thing you want to be mindful of is the roles that you give an individual member. If you give someone the title director, they can do anything like a CEO. They have nearly unlimited power. Only the CEO can assign directors, and subsequently, only a CEO can remove directors. So you want to be extremely careful about who you give that power to. And I say that as a director in a larger nullsec corporation. You have to be very careful about who you trust with that kind of power. Now, of course, as a CEO, I have all the roles, but that's neither here nor there. Another thing to be mindful of, if you have a player who is causing a nuisance within your corporation, they can only be kicked if they're in space. If they're docked in a station, they can't be kicked if they're in space. What this tool does is it automatically removes them during downtime when they will be logged off. So that's one way to deal with troublemakers. But the greatest thing you can do is keep friendly fire illegal. Because if it's illegal and they fire, they're gonna get concorded. But if they continue to, say, attack your guys or suicide gank against your corporation, you can then move up to the auto removal and just have them kicked. Then if you're feeling really vindictive, you find out who all his buddies are, then you go war deck them. You go shit in their Cheerios for a while. If you're so inclined. Alright. Let's see. There are important things you can do. Only the CEO can name divisions, as you can see here. These are the divisions of corporation hangars. Only the CEO can rename these divisions. So you can specify one for mining, one for loot from missions, etc., 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 etc. In addition, you can create additional divisions of the corporation wallet to specify funds set aside for various things. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate by giving $100 million ISK to my corporation's master wallet. As you can see, I now have 101 million ISK. Now the master wallet is typically used to pay bills. It's also where all of any bounties from pirates, either the Red Crosses or players. If a player gives a high enough bounty, you can get a small piece of that, depending on your tax rate. And mission time bonuses, mission completion payouts, all end up in the master wallet. So this is the default wallet that most smaller corporations use to pay their bills. Now what generates bills? Well, one of the great ways to generate bills is by renting a corporation office. As you can see, every station has a certain number of offices, and every station has access to certain services. Click here, rent office. This particular office is valued at 22 million every 30 days. And as you can see, the money was deducted, and we now have a bill. We set our automatically paying bills to automatically come out of the master wallet, and every month, so long as there's money in the master wallet, this bill will be paid every 30 days. In return, I get access to a corporation hangar. Each of these setups has 1,000 stack limit and can be used to share items amongst the corporation with people who have the appropriate access rules. Offices, as I said, can vary in price. Some cost as little as 10,000 ISK a month. Some can go for 20, 30, even 50 million. An office in Jita 44, Caldari Navy Assembly Plant, can cost over 1.5 billion ISK a month to run. So always be careful of where you decide to set up shop when shopping for your new office, and make sure that it's got the services you want. This one in particular has access to a clone bay of your processing facility. And we'll see what industrial facilities it has. It has a full suite: invention, copying, research, and industry in one station. Well, you can see why this is quite the in-demand place to be. It's another thing to keep in mind when you're setting up shop. Always get the lay of the land before you go spending too much money on offices. If you decide a location is not for you after all and pull out before the month is up, you will not get a refund. Contrarily, if there are any assets left in an office that is not paid for, those assets will be impounded, and it will take at least a director to retrieve them out of impound by paying additional fees, after which those assets are transferred to his personal hangar. So always be very careful about where you put your offices. But that should do it for this primer for budding corporation CEOs. If you have any questions, send me a Twitter at Urzio99 or contact me in-game URZIEL99, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But for now, I'll see you next time.